As a precursor to this episode, we've kind of been a plague house for the past month, which is why we've missed a couple weeks in uploading. My voice is better enough to actually record now, but if my voice sounds a little off, that's why. Sorry, I thought it'd be better to get another episode out rather than going a third week with nothing. So, hopefully the audio quality isn't terrible with that, but if it is, sorry.
Ditto.
With that out of the way, hello, and welcome to another episode of Character Forge. My name is, check the table, Tyler Owens, and I'll be your character smith for today. Joining me is, my wife Leigh.
Did you add the modifier?
I did, yeah. She's going to be our Supreme Overlord. And also our character artist.
Oh, okay, we're good.
Today we're going to be building a female Dragonborn. Ooh, Dragonborn. That means I need to roll for color.
Side note, it sounds like he's just silly rolling, but no, he seriously did roll for this.
Yeah. That is a black Dragonborn. So a female black Dragonborn. So now that we've done every class in the player's handbook at least once, we're going to be moving on to another tabletop RPG system. But before we go, there was one more thing I wanted to try in D&D 5th edition. Somebody told me that in the very first edition of Dungeons & Dragons, maybe even, I don't know, if I think it was in the first edition, it wasn't in AD&D, which was second edition. But, back in first edition where Gygax had control of, everything, the rolling for your stats worked a little differently. Instead of rolling your scores and then, assigning them to the different scores as you saw fit, you just rolled down the stats. Like you would roll, and the first number you rolled would be your strength, and then you'd roll again, and that number would be your dex, and you'd roll again, and that number would be your constitution, so on and so forth. Now, when I first heard that idea seemed, it could lead to some interesting choices in how to build a character, which is why I immediately knew that I needed to make an episode using that technique. But it also, to be honest, it sounded kind of terrible. If a DM were to try and impose that rule at a table I was playing at, I probably would just get up and not play at that table. Because it's just, my way of building characters is so often coming up with a concept and then building to that concept, whereas this is very much so a roll and then come up with a concept. It's just antithetical to how I do things.
It can be fun to do it that way, but usually only if you've done it before you get cornered into it,
Yeah.
It's let me come up with a unique idea for a rogue, or, what if I had really bad stats in this way? Well, I could swing it this way, and then I would have to build a wizard. It can be fun to do it that way, but it's not fun to roll stats, go, crap, I don't want any of this, I guess I have to figure out how to play wizard now. I'm not a huge fan of wizards. I've played one. I should probably give them more of a chance, but...
Yeah. So honestly, I wasn't really looking forward to doing this build. Then I got into it and decided, you know what? Let's just embrace it. We're going to be randomly rolling pretty much everything. And I think this is going to be really fun.
Like I said, legitimately did roll for gender and race and... ancestry of the race.
Yeah. And it got, a little weird at times when I was building the character, because, I had to figure out, we'll get to some of the weirdness of how I had to decide how to randomly roll for things, but it's been really fun, actually. So, yeah. So we already randomly rolled that we're going to be making a female black Dragonborn. So let's get to rolling up our stats. Let's see, a 10, okay. So we're not doing a fighter, maybe, probably. Oh, a 10 for Dex. Yep, we are definitely not making a fighter. Not with 10s in both primary stats. Let's see.
Are you rolling what we're making, though?
You know, I hadn't thought about that, but okay, hopefully we don't get a fighter.
You're doomed us all.
A 9. Let's see, an 8. This is just going great. A 13. And a 13. Okay. That's, highest stats are wisdom and charisma. I can't think of a single class that needs both wisdom and charisma in terms of mechanics. I mean, charisma is always a great stat to have, but that's just a really weird stat distribution.
This is exactly why rolling down the stats sucks.
Alright, okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and decide what tier of play we're going to be playing at. There's 4 tiers of play, so let's roll a d4. Tier 2. So let's just start at level 5. So we'll be getting 1 ability score improvement. Okay, let's go ahead and roll to see what our class is. Okay, a sorcerer. Okay, our charisma is one of our highest stats, so that should work out.
That's good, because you could have gotten a rogue, which you don't deserve. Not that I'm still on about that or anything. I will never forgive you.
Alright, okay, so sorcerer, that can work. As a dragonborn, we get +2 to strength and +1 charisma. And I'm going to throw... Oh, geez, let's see. Where's our ability score improvement going to be? Oh, hey, double 6s. So they're both going into charisma.
Just where we need them.
Just where we need them. All right, so with all that, our final stats are going to be strength of 12, dexterity of 10, constitution of 9, intelligence of 8, wisdom of 13, and charisma of 16. That sure is a stat spread.
I'm having a hard time. Normally I express charisma with sexiness, and this is a dragonborn, and I don't believe in giving dragonborns boobs.
Just make her have, like, sexy anime eyes.
Okay. Because she's got to have an emaciated rib cage from that 9.
It doesn't have to be emaciated. It's only a -1.
Yeah, it's emaciated. It's too late.
Okay. Alright. Okay, since we're here, we might as well roll for our sorceress origin. Let's see. Draconic bloodline. Shocker, that. Being a dragonborn. But you know what? We could be boring and just take black dragonborn for our background, or what our draconic bloodline. But let's roll for that too. Let's roll for this one too. Okay, that's silver. So somewhere back in our heritage, we had a silver dragon. Probably not a source of pride for our black dragon family, considering chromatic and metallic don't really get along very well. Probably some sort of dumb Romeo and Juliet situation.
It could also be a criminal situation.
That's true.
Black dragons are evil.
And that is true, but, like, her main family is black dragon, so, like, I don't know.
Black dragons are evil.
It's true, I guess. Alright, let's roll for our background. Let's see, that would be a criminal. Okay.
Criminal. Did I just stink somewhere? I think I did. Gosh dang it. Just ignore me. Sorry, art's wonky because the tablet's wonky. Normal stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so we're a criminal. That means we need to roll for our criminal specialty. Okay. We are a killer for hire.
Neat.
I mean, I guess that fits being a black dragonborn. All right, let's also roll down the criminal tables for our personality stuff. Let's see. Personality trait. I am always calm no matter what the situation. I never raise my voice or let my emotions control me. Okay, I mean, that makes sense for an assassin. Let's see. For the ideal... charity. I steal from the wealthy so I can help people in need. Sure. Okay, I guess I take the stuff from the people I kill and give it to the poor. That can work. Alright, for the bond. Something important was stolen from me, and I aim to steal it back. Okay, I guess we'll add that to the backstory rattling around in my head. And flaw. If there's a plan, I'll forget it. If I don't forget it, I'll ignore it. This is shaping up to be an interesting assassin. I don't even...
No, see, it works, right? So, they don't follow the plan. And they seem to be thinking that they are a thief, right? Like someone who steals. So, they think they're a thief. People hire them to, quote-unquote, steal stuff, knowing that they suck at it, and they will end up killing everyone in the house so there's no witnesses. So if they want someone dead, they're like, I need you to steal the master's of the house's pillow while he's sleeping on it. It's important to me. And she'll go, okay, well, there's only one way to get this stab. She doesn't think she's an assassin. She thinks she's a thief. She just... It's like that time in Shadowrun where we thought we were cool spies, but really people just hired us to blow stuff up because that's what happened a lot.
Okay, yeah, that is way better than anything I was thinking about. Thanks.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm the overlord, right?
Yep. Okay, so as a criminal, we get proficiency in deception and stealth. Let's see, then as a sorcerer, we are going to get to roll for 2 skill proficiencies. Alright. Insight. And... Okay, but can I just say how funny it is that she's proficient in insight, but she apparently never uses it because she never figures out that people are just hiring her specifically to be an assassin. This is kind of funny to me.
She's really bad at what she does.
And, Arcana. Okay, I mean, as a sorcerer, it's kind of fitting that even with proficiency in Arcana, I'm still going to not be particularly great on account of the terrible intelligence score. I mean...
That alone accounts for her not thinking to use insight on the people who are hiring her.
Yeah. Okay. Let's also go ahead and take care of our health. As a Draconic Bloodline Sorcerer, we get 1 additional hit point per level, which will counteract the -1 we get from our Constitution modifier, which means at level 5, we have a whopping 18 hit points. Such high health, guys. Level 5 Sorcerer, 18 hit points.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be... Well, that's fun. Okay, what are some other fun things we can roll for? We can roll for what metamagic options we have. At 3rd level, we get 2 options. So, let's see. The first one is Careful Spell, which lets us choose up to 3 creatures. It's our charisma modifier. To automatically save against our area of effect spells. So that's nice. And Empowered Spell, which allows us to re-roll up to 3, again our charisma modifier, of the damage dice for a spell.
I guess it's a good thing that our charisma is so great after all.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny. I mean, we can be more careful with our spells, or we can make them blow up even more. Or we can be careful with our spells and make them blow up even more, because Empowered Spell is like the only metamagic option you can use in conjunction with other ones. So it just seems to fit her. She's like, I'm going to be really careful with this spell and also make it blow up more. All right.
She would have been great for a Shadowrun team.
So now we just need to choose our spells, by which, of course, I mean roll for our spells. As a 5th level sorcerer...
It would make spell choosing a lot faster if you could just roll for them.
Yeah. Although it took me a while to figure out how it would... Because, there's, 3 different books that you can find spells in, and then, there's different numbers of spells per, spell level, and so it was annoying to figure out how to make, a regular D&D dice set accurately randomly roll those. So, but I figured it out. Don't ask me what it was because I don't remember by this point. But it involved D20s and D12s. It was the most I've ever used a D12, honestly.
Hey man, that hurts your D12's feelings.
I mean, D12s are going to get hurt feelings for anyone except people who play barbarians.
Yeah, well, that's why I have a close affinity to mine right now.
Alright, so as a 5th level sorcerer, we know 5 cantrips and 6 spells. We have 4 1st level spell slots, 3 2nd level spell slots, and 2 3rd level spell slots. Alright, so let's go ahead and roll for our cantrips. We've got light. Okay. Frostbite. And I guess silver dragons. Does silver dragons have cold? I'm pretty sure they do.
I don't know, man. I can remember 2 of them accurately ever. I'm pretty sure gold is fire.
Well, yeah, gold is fire.
Pretty sure red is fire. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Let's
see. Sword burst. Okay, I guess that's good if we ever get surrounded. Mold earth.
I assumed it meant mold, as in this bread has mold on it at first. I was like, what? Oh, no, the other kind.
Yeah. And firebolt. Okay.
Firebolt's a cool spell.
Yeah, that's...
It's not the best spell, but it is pretty cool.
Yeah. That's quite the toolkit we've got there. It's a pretty good mixture of damage-dealing spells and utility spells.
This rolling thing is not such a terrible idea for spells. It's a pretty terrible idea otherwise.
Alright, so we have to split up our 6 spells that we know. 2 1st level spells, 2 2nd level spells. So that means a total of 2 3rd level spells. That worked out pretty nicely. Let's see. For our 1st level spells, we'll get Witch Bolt and Chaos Bolt. That's just too perfect.
That sums up this entire thing.
Yeah. Okay. For 2nd level, we've got Invisibility. That's actually surprisingly fitting for our thief assassin. And Dragon's Breath.
Okay.
Dragon's Breath. Now, technically with Dragon's Breath, you can choose a different type of dragon each time. A different damage type each time. But screw that noise. We're going to roll a 3rd time on our Dragon's table to see what we're going to get. Let's see here.
Why not F with the family tree even more?
All right. Let's see. Okay. So for Dragon's Breath, we are a red dragon. So we've got so we've got a black dragon with some silver dragon and red dragon thrown in. This is great. All right, 3rd level spells.
Ballet reunions must be fun.
All right. Okay, we're gonna roll here. Melf's Minute Meteors. I have no idea what that spell does, but it sounds fun. And... Oh, and Enemies Abound. That's a fun little spell. That's another one that I didn't know about before we started Character Forge, but it's a fun little spell that like turns people against their allies, and it is basically what the name implies. Man, this sorcerer is so ridiculous. Which reminds me, we still need to give her a name.
I gave her garters, so that's how you know she's sexy.
Is she cross-gartered?
No.
Oh.
Because I don't know what that is. I get the Shakespearean reference, but I don't know what that is.
Alright, let's see. Okay, so Dragonborn put their clan names first, so her clan name is... that sure is a word. I'm just gonna spell it out for you first, so you can write it, and then so it's VERTHISATHURGISH.
THISA.
Yeah.
Then what?
Okay, so VERTHISATHURGIESH.
Around no space. That's okay. Why?
I know, right? It's like
Wait, no, why did you even come up with that?
No, I didn't come up with that. That's straight from the player's handbook.
Okay, that's what I meant. Where were you pulling from?
Oh, yeah.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. But yeah, okay, so it's like... So the question is, are those THs thes or thus? So,
only a linguistics nerd like you would care.
And, okay, actually, I'm gonna take this as, like, German pronunciation, because that's the best way I can make this make any sense at all. So in that case, it'd be Fertisaturgisch. Fertisaturgisch. So, like, that's fine. Alright, so her given name is Surina, Surina. And Dragonborn have childhood names, so that are just like descriptors of things that they were like, well, that's fitting. Her childhood name is Climber. So, full name is that long mess Surina, but people who knew her when she was a child might call her Climber.
Hey, Climber, what are you doing? Climbing.
Alright, okay. So now we still got to figure out what was stolen from her.
It was her heart. Don't go breaking my heart.
Well, there's actually a trinkets table in the player's handbook, so I'm just going to roll on the trinkets table.
Does it include my heart? Because you're breaking my heart if you...
Let's see. It is a tiny silver bell without a clapper.
That's pointless and broken. That is literally garbage.
Okay. You know what? What we're going to do is we're going to say she has a tiny silver bell without a clapper, and the thing that was stolen from her that she's trying to get back is that clapper, so she can ring the bell again. And yes, she could just buy a new clapper, but it's the principle of the thing.
I'm just imagining that someone stole it to get her to stop
ringing it. Yeah.
This character is the worst character ever. I love it.
Oh. Okay, well, that was certainly a crazy little ride. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as we did. Thanks to Leigh for being so flexible in drawing this weird character.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can follow her on Instagram at Ree the Wordsmith, and you can read her webcomic about 5 villains seeking something more at monochromecomic.com. If you like the video, be sure to like, comment, tell your friends, and subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. so you don't miss next week's episode, where we dive into the magic of metals. And until next time, keep those forges lit.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.